Hey, this is Kelly.
And this is Sue.
Welcome to Front Porch AF. We're friends and neighbors.
Gather to have a drink and a laugh and figure out how to solve all the problems of the world. And
Cheers.
what is the camera, the drape that Vanna is standing in front of? It's our new set.
I love it. I know.
Look
we have
at-
the
look
table and the chairs.
You
It's
built the
like-
table.
You did the chairs?
I did the chairs. Took me 3 days to do the chairs. Took you 5 minutes to do the table.
What did I say to you when I was doing
Yin
the table?
and yang, people. Yin and yang.
When you were using your Allen wrench and I showed up with my drill.
What? Lesbian.
Yeah, heterosexual.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We've got a great guest. Thank you for tell us.
I know,
tell
I'm
us.
so excited. We have Dr. Emma Smith today, and we're going to talk about sex.
Oh, I'm all ears.
It's going to be awesome.
Okay.
I know that's what your prom date said.
That's what my prom date said. Oh, what are we drinking?
Oh, I'm having a Miller Lite, unfortunately in a can.
You know that we have Miller Lite. Your Miller
Well,
Lite's
you know-
in the refrigerator upstairs.
Anyway, I brought it with me because I have the boat.
oh,
And so it's
right.
not really
You
good to have
can't-
glass
do
on a
not
boat.
take- do
So
not
I'm
take
starting.
glass on
I'm
the boat.
trying to learn to drink it out of a aluminum can. But I have this amazing Huggy with Dolly on it. That says drinking 9 to 5.
What a way to make a living. Yeah.
Exactly.
And of course, we will have pictures on the web and
Yeah.
on the YouTube and all that.
I want to go to her truck stop.
It's only about an hour away.
I know it's just right down 65.
We can do.
We got to
Let's
do
do
it.
that. Let's do it.
Let's do a
We'll take a look.
pilgrimage.
It'll be a bonus.
Let's do it.
It'll be a
Okay.
bonus.
What are you drinking anyway?
Well, I'm still with vodka.
Still on the vodka.
I still am
Thanks
on the
for
vodka.
doing your research
About vodka?
about vodka and
Oh,
educating us about
Educating us. Yes, it is not.
potatoes. and-
Mine is not made. Kettle One and Russian Standard are not made from potatoes.
I love that.
They're made from grains. I'm brokenhearted. I've under the misillusion.
You're kidding me. Your whole life.
Uh-huh. My whole life. Since I started drinking vodka, which has been about, oh my God, 60 years. Jeez. So these are great drinks, but we have even better neighborhood notes.
All right. Well, you kick us off then if you got some good ones.
Okay. We have a true neighborhood note. We were out drinking on the front porch at my house last week.
Oh, you and me.
Piper, you and me, and Piper and Mark.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was kind of a rainy day.
Yeah, their storm just come.
Yeah, and we were looking up, and we saw a couple walking with umbrellas, and and we said, "Wait!" And you scampered up the hill, and said, you need to come in and have a cocktail."
That's not what I said.
Well,
I said, y'all look lost.
y'all look lost. They said, "Yeah, we are." Turned out they were trying to walk from the bus stop that was about a quarter mile away.
A bus stop that's quarter mile, like that way.
Yeah, and they needed to go another 2 miles.
Yes.
And well, needless to say, the lovely couple, Sabrina and Tony, and we've got their permission, we've got their picture.
Yeah. Hey, Sabrina and Tony.
had a nice drink with us on the porch, and then you took them down to where they had to get to.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, unfortunately, that they were going to buy a car, and that car that didn't work out. So I hope y'all found a car.
Yeah, Sabrina and Tony, we hope you found a car.
I hope you found a car.
So that was lovely. And
That was lovely. They were like, we're walking down the blah blah blah.
guess what I was able to do this past Wednesday? Remember?
Does it have to do with seafood?
It does have to do with seafood. I seafood and I eat it. I was finally able to get to a Captain D's taste test where I had one of the most delicious cuts of whitefish and lemon sauce I have ever had. It was superb.
Wait, hang on. Is whitefish actually a fish?
It's
or
pollock.
Is it just
it's a
the
generic
color
thing. Yeah,
of
you
the-
can have a number.
So it could be like anything.
It could be your goldfish, filleted. No, but this happened to be pollock.
I didn't know. Did they tell you?
A goldfish is a whitefish underneath all the gold, and it was delicious, and I'm very glad. I guess that's it. I've got more for the mailbag. So now I know. Buckle up, folks, because we've got us a neighborhood note from Kelly.
so I can't even, I don't even, so last Sunday was a very busy day. There's like about 4 things happening Sunday afternoon.
Including the fact that you needed to go to the airport to go.
Monday. I needed the airport Monday. And then Sunday was just packed. Mm-hmm. And so we did all the things on Sunday. We're here and there and about, me and Piper. And we met friends and this, that. And that's great. We had a wonderful day. And in the middle of that day, like with all the stuff going on, my friends at have a food truck park called me and they're like, we have this abandoned food truck. Can we park it at your house until we figure out like if what to do with it? So they did. And so that it's hard to weave that into the story, but that's actually part of the story. So I was like, sure. So they come that was one of the big events of the day, is like dealing with all that. And anyway, about 3 hours before I'm going to get on the plane, I'm getting my wallet.
This is the next day.
This is the next day, Monday.
Next day, right.
Monday, the next day. And I'm like...
And I text you and say, what time do you want me to pick you up?
Right.
To go to the plane.
I don't. Because I have just realized I don't have my wallet. I can't find it anywhere. I called all the different places that we had been the day before. I'd called all of them and nobody had my wallet. No, there were no fraudulent charges or anything, so that was fine. And it's really incredibly easy to deal with losing your wallet, right? Except if you need to be on the plane, like that's a problem. I have my passport, but I needed a physical like credit card to make sure I could travel. So I had to cancel my travel, but I couldn't find my wallet. But so today, so I had to reschedule my trip for tomorrow. And so today I'm like organizing life and I'm moving the fucking food truck to a different location. And then I've got another trailer that I've got
As though everybody has a food truck in their backyard, but go on.
Anyway, well, so I mean, whatever. And so I go to the boat trailer because I need to move it. And I look down and there's my fucking wallet sitting on the tongue of the boat trailer.
And what was next to it? A beer.
Alcohol
was involved.
Anyway, I'll have my wallet and I'll be on a plane tomorrow.
Okay.
But the next thing that happened, so after this show, we're going to go, Emma's partner, Olivia, has been kind enough to bring some guns. I've got some guns. We're going to go shoot.
Yeah.
So this morning I've been busy like a beaver or an ant getting prepared for us to shoot. And I had my phone on the tractor and then all of a sudden it's not there. So I go to find my phone and it's like the Find Your Phone hasn't seen my phone.
Oh God.
I think I bush-hogged my phone.
That's why you didn't answer my text.
That's why I didn't answer yours. I bush-hogged my phone. Anyway, that's all I got. It's going to be a hard day.
Remember, didn't you have a new family rule that you could not put your wallet or your phone in a pants pocket without a zipper? Wasn't that the rule? Didn't we learn anything from the lost wallet escapade?
I tied the phone to the tractor.
You tied the phone to the tractor?
And the night came undone, I guess. Anyway.
Kelli bush-hogged her phone. Okay, everything else is downhill from here.
Okay. Fast downhill from
here. Okay. Oh, shall we open the mailbag? Okay.
Let's bring the mailbag.
But you know, the show that we have up now as we're taping this is with the death doula, Bree Clark.
Bree Clark.
We've had some wonderful feedback. But Tiffany from Atlanta.
All right.
Tiffany from Atlanta wrote me that she was so inspired by this episode, she wants it for a career.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the show, and so I sent her all the links.
Shout out to Bree.
Yeah.
How about that?
Here you go, Bree. You have a inspiration. Yeah,
she's an influencer.
She is now, and from Neil G. Who, our friend Neil G.
Neil G.
We spar intellectually, but he's an absolutely wonderful person, listens to us all the time. He went back and he wanted to re-listen to the episode on transgenic mice. And he says, quote, needless to say, I have ordered a copy of The Island of Dr. Moreau. Thank you, Neil.
Thanks,
Now
Neil.
we are inspired. And you said you didn't like The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Well,
The movie with Marlon Brando.
I've never seen the movie.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, you just didn't like the book.
I just kind of went to AI and I got to kind of get the concept of the book.
Oh, I highly recommend the weirdest movie that Marlon Brando ever made with Val Kilmer.
Oh, Val Kilmer?
Val
I'll
Kilmer,
go watch
The
it.
Island of Dr. Moreau. But now, I'm going to reach into my bag.
All right, what you got?
Okay. Our friend Jim Swift at the Bulwark,
Bulwark.
right?
Wow,
Which is our
yeah.
spirit animal.
Yeah.
You know, he sent us a picture of our the Front Porch AF koozie on the road with them, and guess where he is?
Where?
He's in Hawaii. And he sent us, and I'll have this picture. Can you see that? He sent us the picture on the beach in Hawaii.
I think that would be great if he would take us with him to Hawaii.
He's back in Cleveland now.
Oh, that's so cool, Jim.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you. And
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks to the Bulwark for all the work that you guys put in. Yeah.
They are.
You know what? Could you reach around you and close that door, because the hot air is getting in, and I don't mean me talking. Okay,
Are we ready for our?
Oh, we are, and look at that. The hand on the little clock
We are
is
right on
we are
time.
right on time.
We're doing it right today.
Oh, we are.
Oh, one other
well, except for
thing.
bush-hogging your phone.
I can't even, right? I can't even. Anyway,
Yeah.
this show is not going to air for a bit, but today is one of our guests.
Yeah, July 29th. Yeah.
Today, when we're filming, is one of our past guests' birthday.
Whose birthday is it?
Elizabeth Cook. Elizabeth Cook for Sheriff. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
If you-
Elizabeth.
up.
We'll see you at the taste test.
Yeah, we'll see you at the taste test. All right. But today we have Dr. Emma Smith, and I'm super psyched to have Emma here. So Emma is been in Nashville for a while. She came here to open her practice. She's a licensed therapist. And she's a professional counselor. She has advanced certifications in sex therapy, and that's what we're going to get into today. This is so great. It's going to be pretty.
The birds and the bees.
The birds and the bees. It might get spicy.
I need a drink.
But Emma, if you're interested in that, check her out. She has a office on Music Row down in downtown Nashville, down kind of near Vanderbilt. And what's really cool is Emma blends evidence-based medicine with philosophical insight, and really helps people kind of figure out what really matters to them. She likes to guide her clients not just to heal, but really to create their life, create purpose in their lives, which I think is really cool. Her mission is to offer space where people can begin to heal, but they can also grow and be met right where they are. In her therapy, in her practice, she does workshops. What's really cool is she's like a fellow podcaster. She has her own podcast called The Intimate Philosopher, and that is really cool. You should check that out. I get a lot of, I really like to listen. I haven't listened to all the episodes, but the ones I listened to are just really fascinating and kind of.
By the
make
way,
you
we
really
are
have
Podbean mates.
Oh,
The Intimate Philosopher is also a Podbean.
oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome. So anyway,
sisters.
check that out. But Emma just really invites people to this space where they can really get on a transformative journey. And her practice is called soliloquy. That's a hard word for me to say. It's kind of like rural. It's kind of a hard word for me to say. But
We will have links on the
we're going to
website.
have links to
Yes.
all that. But I want to just, before we bring her on, I want to just bring this quote. Healing begins when we hold our past with compassion and create space to rewrite our story. And I love that, because I know so many people hang on to what happened? What did I do? Or what, and I love that, you hang on to that and you but you bring your future, you rewrite. So anyway, so that's a quote from Emma. And Emma, come on over. We're really excited.
Come on down, Doctor.
Dr.
Please.
Emma Smith.
You know I'm surrounded by doctors.
You're
Once
surrounded
again,
by
I am the
doctors.
least degreed person at our little table
Oh
here.
my God! If you look at the letters behind Emma's name.
Oh, I know. I read that. Oh
Right.
my, yeah. It's alphabet. You are eminently qualified. Welcome, Emma.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here with you both.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Kelly,
All right.
you go first. we're going to dive right in, aren't we?
All right. Yes, we're diving right in. And actually, so we're going to talk about what sex therapy is, but I really want to start off with what is sex therapy not? Like,
Yes.
what are the misconceptions people have about it?
Yes. So sex therapy is not sex work.
Okay, bye.
Sorry. I'm not even a hugger, really. So, like, I would not be the person for that. So it's not sex work. It's just, it is psychotherapy. It's talk therapy. Mm-hmm. But we get a lot of extra training in the stuff that you're basically told not to talk about in our culture, right?
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
So what are the things that, like, really, what is it? Like, what is the extra training, and what is it that you help people with? Like,
yeah. So, well, the extra training, it's, it took me almost 4 years, and you have to go back and get 18 months of continuous supervision again. So even though I had been a psychotherapist for 10 years, they were like, doesn't count, go back.
Oh, wow.
And so you learn how to talk about, well, one is that you get the science-based sex education that a lot of us didn't get. And so.
Okay, so how much science is there around it?
I mean, there's a ton, right? It's like basic biology, and there's a ton of, neuroscience that comes in, and pain science that comes into play, development, like human development, you know? And so, and then we talk a lot about the cultural underpinnings and messages that we all get about what's allowed and what's not allowed, what's okay, what's not okay. And that doesn't always match up with what our bodies are saying.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to unpack. And then we do couples work too, right? And getting two people in the room. So, and talking about how these two individual people who have had their own unique experiences are now trying to build a life together. And what are those messages? And a lot of times they don't align. And so how do we unpack that?
And sometimes you don't know that they don't align until long after marriage, for instance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so what does a typical person come to see? Like, I know you probably have a spectrum, but like, what are the typical kind of things people will come to you for?
Yeah. So for some people, it's, people have spent their lives in career mode and raising kids and just kind of being in the grind. And then their kids grow up and they go off to college. And then there's just two people staring at one another going like, who are you? And how do we get back in touch? Because now we apparently still have the rest of our lives to live together. And what do we do now? So that's one of them. Another one is, I have a lot of folks who, as you get into middle age, bodies change, hormones change, and that's true for both men and women. And so things that used to feel good may no longer feel good, or things that, you thought were just completely taboo and off the table, suddenly you're like, well, is it okay? Mm-hmm. Is it okay to want or like something like this? So we talk a lot about that.
So how do you balance? So there's a lot of different things people might like, or you can a spectrum of things like might make somebody feel good, and it might not. How do you balance that with like making sure somebody's safe or not being harmed? You know what? I'm asking here.
So, I mean, when it comes to, I think my practice largely is based out of a consent model, right? Mm-hmm. So we have consenting adults. I only work with adults, and those people have to be on board, right? Yeah. And to say, yes, I want to explore this, or I'm willing to explore this conversation, and kind of talking about that. And then, and then the other part of it is like, what is the story that you're telling yourself about yourself for wanting this thing?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So a lot of people come in, and one of my favorite things to talk about is fantasy. And that might need its own podcast.
I can only imagine. Yes.
But fantasy, because people will get really creeped out by their own fantasies sometimes, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you want that thing. Yeah. It means that there's something that's intriguing to you, and it's usually about yourself and who do you get to be in this fantasy. You know, do you get to be someone who doesn't have to care what other people think? Do you get to be someone who doesn't have to schedule around soccer practice?
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
I see what you mean. Yeah. So me having the fantasy of Marsha Blackburn sucking my toes doesn't really mean that I want Marsha Blackburn to suck my toes.
No, but it might mean that you would like to see yourself in a position of power over somebody who has done really negative things to a community that you're a part of and you love.
Oh, that's interesting. Yes.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I had no idea you wanted Marsha
Oh, that.
Right, but we'd have to talk about like, what do your toes mean to you?
Yeah.
Right.
You mentioned something about different stages of life.
Yeah.
And I told Kelli that this is, I'm 78. Is there a point at which you find people, an age or a place in life that people lose interest in sex?
Yes, but it's not where you think it is.
Ooh, do tell. Yeah.
It's in the first 4 years after you have kids.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
Because your life is just overrun by trying to keep this non-autonomous being alive. And there's so little bandwidth. But no, I work with seniors who are having great sex, even the best sex of their entire life,
Yeah.
because they can't get pregnant and they don't care what anybody thinks anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So, when you, is there anything off limits when you're having conversations about sex with people?
I mean, for the most part, they're going to weird themselves out way before they weird me out. In fact,
Okay.
I tell people that when they come in, I'm like, you know, please, I have very nice clients. All the people I work with are lovely people, and they often try to take care of me. And I said, oh, no. Like, you
They're
can
trying
just
to take care of you.
They are. They're like, I don't want to make you uncomfortable. I'm like, this is only uncomfortable for one of us, I promise, and it's not me. And if you tell me anything I have never heard before, I will bring you a cookie to our next session.
Okay.
So far, 0 cookies have been doled out. So, right? I mean, I think, you know, I don't work with like minor attracted people, right? Like that's its own thing. That's not sex therapy. That's something else. And
Can you help, not you, but I guess there's practices where people can actually try to help those
there are
individuals?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really of the belief that like if you're still breathing, we've got options, right? And so there is hope for folks to be able to work through whatever is on their plate.
Yeah.
That may look wildly different depending on what it is, but yeah, I've had colleagues who do incredible work with that population, right?
So I grew up in the South and was raised in the Southern Baptist Church.
Yes.
And, you know, sex is for procreation. And if you're a woman that feels any desire, that's bad. Is that a common theme among people? I mean, do you see that a lot, and you help people get through that, or?
Yes, that's probably one of the number one things that are conditions, concerns, or whatnot that I treat here is like the intersection of sexual repression and religious kind of, with all due respect, baggage.
Baggage is okay.
Right?
Baggage is actually a very nice word for it. Okay.
To say, you know, and here's the thing is that like, it's not the person's fault, right? I think a lot of people feel really guilty that they even have these desires or the want, because the want was framed as dangerous.
Yeah.
Right. And so what we do is we talk about that and we say, okay, like let's have some compassion for who you were when you were receiving that message, right? Of course, this is going to be hard. If somebody told you that you're bad for having these thoughts or these feelings, right? Then like it makes sense why you're here now, you know, like that kind of thing. And so we talk about that. And a lot of it, you know, I'll end up talking about like the difference between desire and arousal, which are two separate things.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
You're going to have to break that down for us.
please.
All right. So arousal is, ooh, I like this, right? And that is your body saying...
It's a physical thing.
It's a physical thing,
okay.
Right? I like this. Desire is, I want this.
Oh, but you might not really. You might just like think you want it.
You could, right?
Yeah.
Or you could want something and your body is like, oh, that idea is really cool, but like actually I don't like the way that feels.
Yeah.
Right. And so it can kind of come on. The other one, I started my work in the sexual trauma world. And so I worked a lot in my early career with the opposite side, which was, I didn't want this, but my body turned on. And so what does that mean? And so this is really so important, because what that means is, your body gets aroused when something sexual is placed in front of it. It says, yes, this is a sexual thing. My body does what it's supposed to do. And it's like flipping a light switch, right? I work with a lot of very hard science, like brilliant people. Okay. And I was talking to somebody who I was like, extraordinary engineering type, super high, theoretical levels of things. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, let me bring you back to basic science of like 7th grade. Remember when you were looking at switches? Yeah. And you complete a circuit? When you complete a circuit, the light just goes on. Yeah. Right? It doesn't mean anything. You just completed the circuit and the light went on. And so we were talking about that, and, it's so powerful to watch people put the pieces together, and they just kind of go, oh, and then all of this weight, you just watch their whole body relax.
It's a physical thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, if something gets touched that is supposed to, and it brings it on, that's just nature. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And speaking of that, to go along with being raised Southern Baptist, I was raised Catholic.
Oh, me too. Yeah. Yes.
Well, here we are.
Here we are. I know. My parents are so proud.
Why does it seem that some of the most vocal, upright citizen types turn out to have secret lives that are definitely opposed to the view they want to show the world?
Yeah. Isn't that interesting the way that happens?
It certainly is.
It is. I mean, my personal theory on this is that when you repress something that is natural, right? Like we are sexual beings. And so when you say, hey, you're actually this like relatively healthy person and we're going to have you be celibate for the rest of your life, that has a chance to come out sideways, right? And a lot of times it comes out extra sideways. And then there's, of course, I used to be a high school English teacher before I was a therapist. So Shakespeare, right? Methinks thou dost protest too much. Yes. So I think there's that, right? I'm always curious about the power dynamics of control and power as far as like, what is the person at the top, or what is the institution or the system getting out of repressing this very normal human experience? Okay. And a lot of times it's power and money.
Power and money, yeah.
It always
follow
goes
the
back
money.
to that.
Yeah, follow the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know. And being raised Catholic, I say, like, if you look in my high school yearbook, no one was like, oh, Emma, most likely to grow up to be a sex therapist.
I got out after 8th grade. I said, no, I would not go to a Catholic high school. I had already started the separating from, and I have nuns and priests in my family.
Yeah.
So I said, see you later, alligator. Because in 5th grade, I asked the question about Pope Gregory's bastard sons. And that ended my Catholic education. Yes.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, no, I went all the way through Jesuit university, the whole thing.
Oh, Jesuit. Holy moly. Oh, yeah. Okay, all props.
That's how you end up with a philosophy degree.
So Emma, how do people typically find you?
Yeah, it's interesting. The podcast has become a referral source for me in ways I never intended.
Yeah.
But for the most part, people find me through my website, so soliloquy.co. And I apologize to the world for creating what I thought. I was like, oh, this is such a meaningful name for my practice.
Everyone wants to spell it QY, don't they?
Everyone wants to spell it QY, and they don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah. Soliloquy.
Yes.
But we will have the correct spelling
Yes.
and the correct link on the web.
And so I do apologize for that.
Yeah, tell me more. Tell me more about the podcast.
Well, I want to hear about the podcast, but what, like, I have to just kind of dig. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, what are the kind of the most common themes that you have in your practice with people? Are there common themes, or is it really all over the place with people?
Yeah, it is. It has become more. I think more narrowed, especially after I moved here, which was really funny.
What?
So
Since you moved from
from
DC,
yeah, I
to
moved from
Tennessee.
DC. So originally, I had a private practice in Capitol Hill, and I worked with all of these very queer, poly, kinky, like very kind of, outside the box for Tennessee folks.
Yes, yeah.
Right. And when I moved here a couple years ago, I was in the middle of my dissertation and I just moved my practice and was so focused on everything else. I never updated my website. I just changed the address. And all of a sudden, I start getting a completely different referral base. And here, a lot of my practice it's all basically heterosexual couples. And most of my individual work is with men, and men who are experiencing things like ED or delayed ejaculation or medical trauma following different types of, medical issues like with prostate or anything like that. And so I have all these conservative white guys in my office. And so it's been really interesting. And I'm like, okay, so what is it on my website that appeals to queer poly women in DC and conservative white men in Tennessee? And I'm not sure. But, it's been fascinating. I love the work. It's actually so meaningful to do, because what I've learned is that we don't let men be full human beings a lot. Like, we give them a lot of flack, and like duly noted, and there's definitely some cultural, they've earned it in a lot of ways. But there's also this whole piece of, think of little boys, right? And like how sensitive and how attuned emotionally they can be. And then that gets so suppressed and so shut down as they enter into puberty and adulthood, and realizing like underneath all that body armor, I worked for the Marine Corps too. So I had all of these armor-plated marshmallows, I used to call them, right? Because they were they just wanted to be so good. And they were willing to literally put their lives on the line to like live up to this archetype of who they thought they were supposed to be. But a lot of times they're sitting on my couch and I'm looking at somebody who could be in their 50s, and I'm talking to somebody who could be 11, 12, about all of these deep hurts or insecurities or things. And I just have to sit there and be like, it's okay. You are a human being. You're allowed to have a bad day. And so what ends up happening is they actually, start to soften and find out, oh, if I'm allowed to be a human being, like a full person, well, I can make room for other people to be full human beings as well, right? So it's really beautiful work. I love it. I love it.
I love that too.
Man, that is, we need more of that, actually. We need a lot more than that. Now, can I ask about the podcast?
Please do.
Thank you. Because it's your question, but I've usurped it. See?
Take it away.
Tell me about the podcast.
Yeah.
And how you have 30 issues in right now. Well, so what are some of the subjects? I know the Love and the Motorcycle episode is what I'm listening to now.
Love and motorcycles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That's
Anyway, so what are some of the things you tackle?
Gosh.
And the podcast name is called The
Intimate
Philosopher, and it's on Podbean and all
everywhere you
all
get a podcast.
and wherever
I
you
listen
get your
to it on
podcast.
Amazon.com.
Oh, there you go.
Amazon, Prime, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can get everywhere.
Yeah.
So we talk about meaning and desire and relationships. And then my favorite part, which is just the messy business of being human and being alive in the, now kind of sense of everything, right? Because it's amazing how a lot of people are going through so many difficult things, right? And all across the country and in different, I mean, life is hard anyway, right? And complicated. And it's like, oh, hey, have a healthy, functional relationship on top of it, right? So I think that it's important to show that it doesn't have to be all tied up neatly in a bow. And, I wanted a podcast where we could ask questions and not demand an answer immediately. Okay. So that's what we do. So I bring on, I have a lot of interesting people in my life that I know. And so one of my really good friends is a brilliant therapist who works with adult autism. And how does that impact relationships? I had a pro dominatrix and tantra worker on, and I had another friend come on and talk about kink and BDSM and how that changes, over time and generations. So things that like our grandparents would have thought was absolutely like kinky and beyond what they could do is stuff that like people do all the time now. And that kind of thing. And so we talk about that. I lament that I had a stack of 40 sex toys on my kitchen table a couple weeks ago because I was a judge in this.
For sex toys.
For sex toys. Yep. Do with that what you will.
Did you take pictures of all of them?
I took pictures of the pile. Yeah, it was so funny.
Well, our favorite bar is behind Jenna's toy shop up here. Yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm going to start putting in my goodie bags for people, maybe.
Sex toys.
Here you
I have so many questions about that.
Right?
But they're personal, so we'll keep them on the pod.
Tell you what, should we touch on a topic and then close up for here because we're going to be doing a bonus video later.
Yeah. So Emma, one of the things that we want to talk to you about today is our transgender community.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of misinformation in the world about transgender care. I was watching a video this morning about fairness around that, the Supreme Court ruling about men and women's sports. So we want to talk to you about that later. We're going to do a bonus video.
Yes,
with you.
we are.
Okay.
Explore it in more depth. But
more depth,
for right now, the difference in care between in the ages. Did you want?
I don't think we have time for that. This is the show clock.
It is. But
so we're going to do it on the bonus video. But what we want to cover is, what is it? What is gender-affirming care for an 8-year-old versus a 24-year-old, a 30-year-old, or whatever? It's very different, and we would like to kind of get some of that out there.
Yeah. So here's what I will say is that gender-affirming care is something that I think has been talked about with a lot of inaccuracy, and it's been oversimplified. So I want you to think about any conversation about a complex medical concern that you might have had, right? And the people and the specialists and the experts that you wanted helping you out with that thing. Mm-hmm. And how many of them were politicians?
Mm-hmm. No,
yeah.
None. See,
right.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's our teaser for the bonus run. So we got to say, we have to wrap it up.
We have to wrap it up. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Emma Smith, with more letters after your name than I can pronounce. Dr. Emma Smith, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. This is scratching this is just scratching.
I know, right?
Soliloquy.com and don't spell it with a Y.
And don't put an M on that. Co.
It is .co. I'm sorry, because if you do .com, it takes you to a foreign site.
It does. It's French.
And it's French. Ooh la la. Okay, what do we got next?
Sue, what's coming up?
Next show, our state representative, Afton Bain, will be here to talk about being blue in a sea of red, and also
blue
about the
diet in a red state.
The real economics of the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be good.
And let's see, we've got you just lined up. Can I tease?
Yes, go ahead.
Jamie Foxx Hardwick, Miss Maryland, 1977, who has a podcast herself, and it's about beauty queens and how that affected
Where they
their
ended
life.
up. Yeah. She was
I
in the
know.
Miss America pageant.
She was in the Miss. Yeah, this is 1977. There she is, and her podcast is called Here She Is.
Yeah.
We've got Craig Havockhurst, music journalist, talking about musicality. We've got Betsy Phillips, historian, Nashville historian, with her book Dynamite Nashville about the Ku Klux Klan bombings.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's
So we got good stuff coming up.
Good stuff coming up. Okay, so but in the meantime, go check us out on the internet.
Yes, and what's that address, Kelly?
You know what it is. So it's www.frontporchaf.com.
And
then we're on the social medias.
all of them, except.
So that would be, yes.
And it's not even Twitter anymore.
It's not, but it's at Front Porch AF on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
Yeah, and
Facebook.
Facebook, the old people's.
The Facebook.
Yeah, the Facebook. The one that I go to. Please
so tell your friends, follow us,
and
subscribe to our channel on YouTube.
buy us a drink at the bar.
You can Venmo. We should set up Venmo for that.
Yeah, Venmo with that. All right, here we go. So until next time.
When we gather on our audio front porch and grab a drink.
And solve all the problems of the world. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers, Emma.
Cheers, Emma.
Yeah.